Hey everybody, you've made it to Module 10. Congratulations. This module is on handling stress. So we're going to take a look at what stress is and what you can do about it, and the harmful effects of stress. The goal for this module is for you to learn to manage your stress. By the end of this module, you will understand the importance of stress management in customer service. You will understand the impact of negative or chronic stress to your health, and you will list 3 ways you can deal with stress as a customer service representative. What is stress? Well, stress can be positive. Positive stress gives you the energy and motivation to achieve something or handle a challenge. It can give you a better focus. Just like, say for instance, if you were performing in a musical performance of some kind or sports, and you know how you get kind of worked up and excited and have all this extra energy, that is actually stress, but it's positive stress. Stress is also sometimes called the fight or flight response, and it was very helpful for us when we were having to run away from saber-toothed tigers. But it's also that same element, as mentioned previously, that helps you in sports. You might just play a great game of tennis. Or maybe you're fleeing a saber-toothed tiger and playing a great game of tennis. Haha. This little diagram illustrates things that go along physiologically and cause stress in your body, wear and tear on the body. And as you can see here, you get catecholamines into the body. That is a stress chemical. And your nerve impulses are sending information and messages, activating your spinal cord. Fat is pouring into your bloodstream. Your heart rate is increasing. Your liver is converting glycogen to glucose. You know that net effect of that is you have more sugar in your blood because you may need it, right? You've got to run away from a saber-toothed tiger. Your digestive system sort of shuts down. You know, you don't need your digestive system when you're trying to flee for your life. Anyway, all of this activity in the body, like the catecholamines, and it's not shown here, but there's other stress chemicals besides adrenaline. There's cortisol. Anyway, all of this yields high blood pressure. Yeah, really big danger for a lot of people. And then also the dilation of bronchioles in your lungs, which the net effect is you're going to breathe faster and shallower. But the reason is not shallower necessarily. You're going to be taking in more oxygen because the muscles of the man or woman running from the saber-toothed tiger need that oxygen. There are situations when you don't have enough stress, and you can see in the pictures here, each of these 3 guys apparently don't have enough stress in their lives. You know, there's not enough of a challenge. They look bored. This guy's like falling asleep on his laptop. Maybe he's got some chronic sleep deprivation going too. But anyway, not enough stress. Yeah, people get lethargic. They get ambivalent. They don't care. And they lose their energy. Now, taking it even further, what happens when you have an overload of stress? Like a reoccurring stressor, like maybe a negative work situation, relationship, financial problems, you know, something that's not going away and it's constantly kind of on your mind and affecting you. When your body stays on this high alert, with all the stress chemicals and all the things going on to help you prepare for fight or flight, um, over time that wears out the body and makes it susceptible to disease. And that's why you hear people with a lot of stress, they're susceptible to stroke, high blood pressure, diabetes, all kinds of problems. And another one of the big effects is that your muscles, your whole body tightens up, and it never relaxes afterwards. And that is one of the big differences between the healthy kind of stress that comes along for an event, and then after the event, you relax again. Whereas in chronic stress, you never relax. Your body's constantly tense. So over time, it's not a good thing. Here's some of the causes of negative stress, and it's good to be aware. I mean, we all know, there can be physical causes, all kinds of things can be going on physically that's a stressor on your body, on your system. People have, oh goodness, like antioxidants to combat inflammation in the body. Might not even be caused by something stressful, but it will cause stress in the body itself. So your body's less capable of taking care of itself. Mental issues, emotional issues, we know about those. Time pressures. Have you ever had that feeling like, gosh, you just don't have enough time to get this thing done? You've got a time constraint hanging over your head. That's stress. Unrealistic expectations. You're expecting to win the 5K race when you haven't even been jogging for, 2 years. I mean, you've got to understand when you're putting something like that on yourself, and I'm not saying that you do, but anybody, that just increases the stress enormously. Another big stressor is a lack of communication, and that's true in any area. Relationships, work, anytime you're feeling like isolated and out of the loop, boom, stress affecting the body and the mind. And then, there's that feeling that your life is out of control. What if it's just too hectic, too many odd things are happening that are causing you problems or obstacles? Yeah, that's a problem too. And then, of course, similar to that is feeling overwhelmed and lacking confidence or being nervous or anxious. A lot of people are anxious in our culture because we don't take enough downtime for ourselves. In a survey by Aon Hewitt of 2,800 employees and their families, the leading cause of stress was work-related. And as mentioned before, I mean, financial problems. I know a lot of people, I've worked with a lot of people with financial problems. There's more people with financial problems than there are not. Changes in your work environment are just changes in work period. You get a different job, your job responsibilities change, your work schedule changes. Well, that can be really hard too. Problems in your work relationships, or let's say someone that's kind of been your buddy and you kind of lean on that person and they get another job and leave the company, and then there's this void in your life. And of course, personal work performance. So over here you see on the top you've got someone here who is dealing with some financial stress, and then below that this is someone who's just overwhelmed, who's got so many things going on. She's just a mess. Yes, it's true. Too much stress can impact your health. And we talked about this before, but seriously, it's costing a lot of money. It's costing insurance and medical providers and us, because it comes back and hits us. People getting those medications for high blood pressure or anti-anxiety medications, or having heart attacks, or diabetes, or any kind, a lot of things. So, and another thing that it ends up affecting is work attendance. People start taking off more time. Or depression. You know, people get depressed from too much stress. They can't sleep anymore. They stop eating healthy. I mean, just generally speaking, too much stress can kind of make you fall apart. And this isn't good news. Work-related stress is on the rise. Another part of Ann Hewitt's research. So more and more people are feeling stressed out by their work-related pressures. So, and of course it affects your performance. Absolutely does, and product. So we have some tips for you in the service desk. One thing that's pretty simple, after a challenging call, just stand up. Take a few deep breaths. That right there, get some oxygen in, get your blood kind of circulating, kind of in a way of releasing some of that stress. You know, taking a little walk if you can manage it, that's a great way to kind of get some stress out of you. Taking breaks is good, you know, calming down, being quiet. Breathing, just focusing on your breath, which is similar to mindfulness meditation. A lot of people do meditation to deal with their work-related stress. Other things you can do, don't skip your breaks. I know it could be really tempting if you're really caught up with your work and decide that you'll just skip your break or your lunch or whatever. Don't do that, because your body and your mind really need that little time out. Another great way to minimize your stress is have a friend that you can talk to who knows what's going on and that you can trust to keep your confidence. It's like having an ally. Something that was kind of interesting is studies have also found that optimists perceive stress at a lower level than pessimists. So yeah. Cultivating that positive attitude can really help. Another thing is focus on what you can control, you know, and let go of the rest. Don't worry about it. And that makes sense, because if you can't control it anyway, then, you know, why think about it? Why bother? You know, and a lot of people worry about things that never happen. Stick with today. What's happening today? That's all you really have to contend with. So anyway, there's some other tips here, and I'll leave the screen up for just a second so you can have a look at it. And there we are. Congratulations, you have completed Module 10. So what's left? Well, there's some Canvas activities, but also it's going to be time for the evaluation activities. So those are not published yet, but I think you'll find it fun and interesting. There's going to be some group activities, and I think everybody will come away with something useful that they can take with them back to the job. Thank you for joining me for these videos. And as I am also your facilitator, please feel free to reach out to me anytime if you need help or have any questions. I'm here for you. Thank you.